The whole Disney thing was what set me off originally.
Yeah.
And I read all the books, like all the adult novels and shit.
Tales from Mos Eisley Cantina, Jabba's Palace. How about Shadows of the Empire?
I never got to reading that one, but I had it.
Okay.
I owned it.
It's good.
I read all those and shit, and then the whole Disney thing happened.
Yeah.
So I was kind of frustrated. My oldest boy was just now finally getting into Star Wars.
Right.
And everything was tailored towards the dark side and shit for the kids, which was kind of like, oh, that's kind of messed up. At least when we were kids, they didn't make it cool. They made it like, oh, these are good guys, these are bad guys.
Yeah.
It was pretty straightforward. So I decided to kind of go on this little tangent. I started looking up Disney and whatnot and realized that they pretty much fucking own everything.
They do. They're one of the 6 corporations that own all social media for news and shit.
Yeah, so that was where it started. And then some buddies saw some posts of mine, and so he started pointing me in another direction. And shit, I started losing sleep because I'd be up till 3 a.m. watching videos, reading articles, tying shit together. I mean, even with religions, like, don't get me wrong, I read the Bible, but I'm not Christian by any means. It's nothing against Christians. I'm just not a religious person in that regard.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in the worship, praising type I am, but I don't agree with a lot of stuff they do. But, so I started looking into, all the religions and tying them all together. I mean, shit just got crazy. Sometimes I'll watch a video or read an article, but like I said, I lost so much sleep for about a year and a half. I just, I just focus on my kids, my family. That's the most important thing. So I kind of got out of it to a degree. Not saying I don't believe any of this shit, obviously, but I just backed out. Some.
Okay.
It was getting too intense.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would start looking at these people's pages, not following the groups, but kind of keeping tabs on them, like the free thinkers or the supposed free thinkers.
The truthers.
The truthers, all the truth movements and stuff.
Woo!
But when I would start reading through the comments, I realized that they were acting no different than the ones that they were calling out in the beginning. Originally, it was everything like, oh, you need to free your mind and all this. And to me, I never completely agreed with that. I think you do have to have a closed mind to a degree so it can't be influenced negatively.
Yeah.
But a free mind is okay. I just not big on an open mind. There is a difference. It's kind of weird. But, I became more accepting, but also I was more set in my, oh no, that shit, this makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't break me from this anymore because not only does it make sense, but I'm experiencing it every day with my kids and my wife, So I started backing out of that. But like I said, I would keep up on their pages, go read the comments, and, they were acting the same, so they never really broke from the mold.
Right.
Maybe they did for temporarily for a couple months, but then they started throwing the insults back again.
Right.
And, when I kind of first got into it, I thought the difference that had to be was that you can't be that. You can't go back to throwing the insults when you were just talking about how all they do is insult you.
Right.
And complaining about it. It's hypocritical. And so, like I said, so I kind of backed out of getting into debates or even conversations, really.
Yep. Can't change their mind.
Because I even opened another Facebook profile that I made up an email on Google. Opened up a Facebook with that, no pictures, nothing, no information. And that was what I would use to debate, because I always noticed in debates, one of the first things they would do is look at your profile picture and start making fun of your picture. It's like, what does that got anything to do with anything?
Like me.
Yeah, it's like kids, little kids, and so it was my way of, trying to keep them on point on whatever we were discussing and talking about.
Straight and narrow.
And so, but these days, like I said, I'll watch a video here and there. It's really hard to, I've never watched a whole video and been like, that is it. That is everything. You know what I mean? Most videos I can watch and find something that I can pull and be like, oh, well, that's like this. Okay, I can take that part.
Like a religion.
Yeah.
You can take a piece of it.
Yeah, I can take, that's good. I can take that because I can see it and experience it, but the rest of this is speculation, poppycock, whatever,
Right.
And, so I still do that sometimes, but, I mean, I've had, even my wife, her friend would send her this video and she'd be like, oh, you got to watch this, this shit's right on, and I'd watch the video and again, it'd be like an hour and a half and I'd find one thing.
Yeah.
One thing in this hour and a half and I'd be like, well, this, I can take that. Okay. But I tell them, like, the rest of it, they're just doing the same shit. It's all speculation.
Yep.
But they're trying to tell you that's how it is.
I hate that. Yeah.
That's where I start losing it. When they start telling you this is how it is or was, but with no...
It's a disinformation agent almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I was...
You were deep in the conspiracies.
It was deep. You know, I mean, it was pretty bad. But the funny thing is, and this is no knock on it, but I was smoking a lot of pot back then.
Yeah.
Which I think actually helped me see things.
Okay.
Now, I don't mean the...
Open up your pineal gland almost?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It made me,
think more about...
Yeah, you know, what is it? Like, the government has the medical patents on marijuana, and one of those patents is because it's a neural inhibitor.
Right.
Okay, so basically, you're less susceptible to their influences when you smoke marijuana. Like, you're not as easily influenced to make an opinion just based off of a news article watching the TV. I mean, you might see something entertaining, but you're going to be like, haha, yeah, that's bullshit. And, it's the stoner way, but you don't take it as truth always, but most people, nothing against them, but most that don't smoke pot, their news is that's their source, right?
Yep.
So I think it helped me free that and kind of get into the mold. I don't smoke weed now. That's because my job. It's been about 2 years. My wife still smokes. And I have no problem with it, and I'm still supportive of it.
Yeah.
But I think that helped me kind of, like I said, free myself, get out of the mold, be more, I don't have to agree with somebody's lifestyle, but I'm not going to treat them like shit. Because, those type of things, even though I always believe those, I didn't always act that way. I mean, and it doesn't matter. I mean, for the most part, I don't give a shit what your lifestyle is. I'm still going to be kind to you.
Yeah.
You're going to be kind to me, hopefully.
Exactly.
That type of stuff, And my friends range far and wide, regardless of whether I agree with what they do or not. I mean, hell, I still got friends that fucking pop pills and shit.
Yeah.
Now, don't bring it to my house.
Exactly. Right.
But if you want to come hang out and have dinner without that, they're welcome there. That type of stuff. So, I mean, it's been an ordeal for a few years, but I think it's interesting. It's fun.
So now, let's go through a couple real quick. Was 9/11 an inside job?
Yeah.
Of course it was. Yeah. Good. All right.
Well, I mean, watch the amateur footage. That ain't no fucking 757 or whatever.
Nope.
Flying into the building.
No, not at all.
That looks more like a drone with some fucking coverings on it.
When does a building ever fall down at a free fall demolition?
Yeah.
After a plane hits it. Sorry. No way.
JFK, 9/11. Shit.
What about the moon?
Dude,
Hold on, I'll say it first. We didn't fucking go to the moon. Now, Dylan, what do you say? What?
We didn't go to the moon.
So tell me.
No, you want to know how fucked up I got into this?
Yeah, I do.
Flat Earth theory.
What about it?
No, that was right after that Disney thing.
Yeah.
That was the shit my buddy sent me.
Okay.
So that really started opening me up to, I'm not saying the Earth's flat, but I'm not saying it's round. I haven't fucking been there. And if I haven't been there to look back at it, all you're showing me is a movie.
So Dylan.
So I mean, it's I don't. That's where I don't get into the, well, as they say in Star Wars Episode 3, only Sith deal in absolutes. I don't get into the absolutes.
Only a fool is 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, my bubble, my kid, I can, that there's things that I can experience and I know it's truth. Okay. But there's things that I haven't experienced. I'm not saying there ain't lions and tigers. I mean, but what I'm saying is I haven't been. You take me the fuck up there.
Yeah.
And let me see.
Okay.
I pay you money.
Yeah.
To do your shit. Was it like $18 billion a year they make? NASA, Freemasons, Illuminati. All that shit.
SpaceX.
Man. Dude, SpaceX. Dude, I mean, shit. Hell, I even started telling my buddies at work, the moon would be coming out early, right?
Sometimes we can see it right now.
Yeah. And I'd be looking. It's like, well, the sun's over there.
Yep.
But the crescent of the moon is this way. And I know my buddies, I go, look at that. Tell me that's not that's not right.
Right.
And they'd be like, what the fuck? And they'd be looking at it just tripping out on the moon. And, I mean, a lot of shit, dude. I mean, the Catholic Church, the Pope.
The fact of thinking about something and questioning it, if it's real or if it is the way it is, without just blindly accepting whatever.
Exactly.
The thought.
Like I said, I read my Bible and there's...
Oh, wow. Okay, good. I can't wait to talk about the Bible, too.
There's that quote that Paul says, examine everything.
Yep.
and hold on to that which is good. And the ironic thing is, and I have this debate with my Christian friends, because they'll say, well, but the Bible's the Word of God, and I'm not saying it's not,
right?
But I have a different definition of what the Word of God is.
Yeah.
By your own Bible's definition, and the Word of God is not these written words. By the definition
those are the
of the
words
Word
of man.
The only words that God speaks are like, "Let there be light." Mm-hmm. So basically, everything, creation, the world.
Yeah.
We're the Word of God, but Paul says, examine everything. He doesn't say examine everything other than this writing. Mm-hmm. He doesn't say examine everything other than these writings. He says everything. Yeah. Examine everything. So I've had buddies, like, how, you can't question God. Well, what the hell did Job do? Job questioned God constantly. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. So, I've there's this other guy. I've watched a couple of his videos. Derek Bros.
Okay.
He was one of the anonymous guys.
Oh, from
he unmasked. Yeah, he unmasked, and he's been doing his not religious thing because he's basically, it's like he was saying in one of his videos. He's like, has anybody, people ask me, have you ever read the Satanic Bible? I said, yes, I have. Mm-hmm. It's the same Bible you're reading, but at the same time, there's truth in it too.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I've been at. Is with the Bible. I can read the Bible front to back. It doesn't have to be 100% literal truth to me, or any of that shit. It could be a completely fabricated story, but the truths I find tie in. They're perfect because I can see, like, I say something to my kids. I'm like, oh, well, that was like that verse right there.
Yeah.
That makes it make more sense now. Yep. Instead of this, kind of like the end times. I'm not a rapture believer. I don't even necessarily believe in a cataclysmic end of the world.
Yeah.
For one, it doesn't say that. Mm-hmm. It being previously a Christian and kind of believing in that, when I read it now, basically the end times, the way everything's described, what it says, the way there's still things going on afterwards, from all appearances, is that the end times is when I die. When you die, that's the end.
Right.
Because before that, you're still hearing of wars and rumors of wars. Your eyes are still awake. You're awake. You're still seeing stuff. The time has not come. I get into that with Christian friends. I'm like, there's, even the new heaven and Jerusalem and the new earth, it still says that the wickedness is walking around outside and cannot enter. Well, if there was a whole end of the earth and a new thing, why is there still wickedness outside?
Right.
By your own book, this is what it's telling you, That tells me that, no, you died.
Yeah.
And now whatever happened after you died, who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Right.
I can tell you what that book says or that book says or that book says, but until I experience it, I'm never going to truly know. So, so even on like death, I ain't sure, like Christians like, oh, I know where I'm going. Oh,
you don't know anything for sure. We don't know any. And ask me why we faked to go into the moon.
Why did we fake going to the moon?
We faked going to the moon. Get ready. Everyone's going to fucking say how stupid I am. We faked going to the moon so that we could go up there and get a picture of the fake globe we live on.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely believable.
It's not out of the realm, is it?
No, I mean, and that's the thing. You look into NASA, you look at their pictures from the moon, and of Earth. And
they're all different.
They're all different for one, and there's documentation that's just a blackboard behind it with a picture of the Earth. It's not. It's not even real.
Yeah.
You go on. You go.
The guy who created the blue marble, Robert Simmons, says, "Oh, it's Photoshop, but it has to be."
Yep.
Look, you've looked into shit.
I know.
So hey, where's the curvature? We can't measure it.
Well, and I've had people tell me, dude, you can see it from a plane.
You can't. Sorry.
I just flew from Florida to Florida and back from Florida 2 years ago. 2 years ago, May, this month, and there's. No, you don't see curvature. And the thing is even if the Earth was a ball, you wouldn't see an actual curve. Because if you see a curve, you're standing on a fucking cylinder. If you saw a curve.
Yeah.
If it was a ball, you would still see a straight line circle all the way around. The only thing you would know to perceive it's a ball is depth perception of it falling off. But it doesn't do that.
It's always at eye level.
It's always at eye level.
And if it does curve, it's the windows of the plane, I think.
Yeah. And like I said, I've flown in planes a lot. I've never seen no actual curve.
And
So most of that's the fisheye lenses and the GoPros and stuff, and
Brandon and I, we were on a plane in May. So guess what I did?
Videoed the horizon.
No, I did that, and I brought something with me. A level.
There you go.
And guess what?
It was level.
Stayed level except for take off and go down. So
February.
It was in February.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
we're in May.
Oh,
We
yeah.
just started May.
Yeah. So sorry about that, but dude.
Yeah.
Dude, so here I'm on your side.
It's crazy.
I haven't been up there to know, but for me, everything that I've researched and looked up, there's no measurable curvature, and there's no way to prove the Earth is moving. There's Airy's failure, the Michelson-Morley experiment. They had to bring in Einstein with the theory of relativity to freaking make the Airy's failure be a success.
Well, that's another interesting one.
Ooh, it is!
Like time. Time's relative. Time's relative. Well, no, time's not relative. Time's only relative to the only outside force there is. Whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
You call it God, you can call it Mother Earth, energy, whatever is outside looking in on everything. This is where the whole, and to use a biblical reference here, that a day to God is 1,000 days to man, and vice versa. Well, it makes sense in this regard, because if you're on the outside looking in, when they say things like, oh, time would be slower on Jupiter, or time would be faster here or slower here, no, it wouldn't, because if you're out here looking in, everything happens at the exact same time. That's how the Big Bang, the end of the universe, everything can all happen at once, because it's all happened in that one instance. So there is only one thing that time is relative to, and that's whatever is out here looking in. To us, it might feel different, but feeling is totally different from what's actually happening.
Yep.
And if time's slower here, it's still happening at the same time. It doesn't matter how fast or slow it's going. Just because you age slower or whatever doesn't change the fact that time is happening the same there as it's happening here.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. A clock, that doesn't prove anything. Oh, the clock went slower. Well, yeah, but it still happened in the same instance. So fuck Einstein, man, and his shit.
I'm
He's
for
crazy.
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla, that was some interesting shit too.
Yes.
Like I said, it was a few years, man. My life was.
What year was this that you got into all this? Are you a few years into this? Are you a few years awoke?
Oh, God. Let's see. 2 years at Rainier. Probably almost 4 years now.
Really? That you've been looking into the shit and everything? Okay.
I mean, I've always been pretty questioning of everything.
Yeah.
But that's when this all started, with the Disney and then the flat Earth and then just everything. Everything just started going nuts. Even my Bible became different. I started reading other writings outside the Bible. Reading that. I stopped reading. Fantasy. I stopped reading fantasy novels, and I started just reading writings, whether it be Francis Bacon or Confucius. Shit that was actually meant something.
Yeah.
I started reading stuff like that. And I started reading my Bible more and was using that in correspondence with other books I was reading, going back and forth, tying things together. And it's been a journey. I realize that we're in a system, and breaking free of that system is damn near impossible.
I like trying to help others though.
But that's where the focus is.
Yeah.
My friends, my family, helping people. Just
the things you can control.
Yeah. What is AA? Focus on the things that you can change. And, don't worry about the things you can't. That's just that's not the exact words.
Right.
I should know them. I was in AA.
Me too.
Years back.
You're in recovery then?
Well, not from alcohol. I was into pills.
Yeah.
And when I moved over to Anacortes for a couple of years on the coast there, and they didn't have, AA was the closest thing for recovery. They had that and they had Celebrate Recovery, so I was doing both of those. Got in with a good church, which I still go to that church when we make trips over there. Got a lot of friends over there. But started doing that, got in with being a youth leader with a couple with the church youth and with another youth group, the Youth Dynamics, YD is what it was called. That was, an after school one for kids that were, whatever had troubled homes, so they would come here and hang out for a couple hours. We had a little skate park in there,
right?
Shit like that. We do games with them. We do competitions. I mean, not real competitions, but game, certain kind of game show style, stuff like that. So that was when I got off the pills the first time, and I moved over there for about a year and a half. Did all that, came back over, did a harvest at the grain elevators out in Davenport. Started smoking weed again because I had taken about almost 2 years, almost a 2-year hiatus from smoking weed. Drinking was never my huge thing, so I was never really too concerned about it because I never really drank much.
That's mine.
That's not my. It was never my go-to. Weed's always been my baby because she's always there.
Yeah.
in the end. So whatever happens with Rainier Seeds where I'm at, if it don't work out, my baby will still be there.
That's
when I come
right,
back,
man.
you
Always.
know? So, I mean, it's crazy. So I came back, ended up getting into popping pills because I was snorting oxys before. Got into popping hydros and stuff like that. And then I got in some big trouble. I ended up it'd been about 2 years, and I snorted some oxys again for the first time, and ended up robbing the coffee stands out in Davenport. This was almost 10 and a half years ago. Robbed the coffee stands out there, middle of the night. Cops are in by 2 a.m.
Right.
So 2 to 6, there's no cops out. I know their schedule. I was 24, 23, something like that. So got one of the pry bars out of Dad's shop. Went out and popped open their doors. Got nothing out of one. Got like 500 something bucks out of the other. And I got caught and went to jail. Luckily, I didn't have a criminal record, so they were. But I did have. So it became 2 Class B felonies, and the minimum is 90 days, and for a first-time offenders, the maximum is 90 days. So I had to do the maximum because that was the minimum.
Yeah.
So they credited my original 2 weeks that I was in when I got arrested. Did an intensive outpatient program there in Davenport, and then went and served my time, but I got good time and trustee time because I did the transfer station out there for the time I was there. I did that Monday through Thursday, and so it ended up being, I think a total when all was said and done out 90 days, I think I did 58, so I think it was 32 I had knocked off.
All right.
Got out, me and my lady, we'd gotten together a little bit before I'd gone and did my sentence and stuff, and so got out, and then we moved in together, and then we had our first kid the following June. So that was in January when I got arrested. July I did my sentence. The next June we had our first kid. 2 years later in July we had our second kid, our daughter, and then finally after we had the 2, then we finally got married. She didn't want to get married pregnant in a dress. She's that type, So we got married finally. So that's been about 5 years ago we got married. So our daughter was old enough to be the flower girl, and the boy was the ring bearer.
Yeah.
And then ever since we've had one more kid. It'll be 2 years here in September. We had our third one. So I think we're planning on a fourth. So he has a little companion.
Okay.
And then looking at a new house or property to build a house. Just kind of getting shit. I mean, the house we're in right now, it's technically ours, even though it's not in our name. It's in my parents' name, because they took the loan to buy it, and me and my dad did a remodel on the inside. But we never got it finished. Well, now it's getting cramped. So now we want to get property and get a house. Yeah. That will be all in my name, my money. We'll still get that house done and either rent it out and sell it. But if we sell it, then we just pay off what's left on the loan, like $20,000, I think. I mean, we're 2/3 of the way through it. So we'll get that paid off, and then it becomes ours. Whatever equity is ours.
Yeah.
So, that's the agreement we made. Or if either of our credits ever up high enough, we can transfer it over into our name. But neither of us. I'm working on that right now as we speak. I opened an account at Numerica, and why I say I got the funds. So my grandpa passed away last year, and he had a bunch of stocks and bonds that he inherited to us grandkids. So I got that check deposited in my Numerica. That's why I say I can put a pretty decent down payment. Stuff. I have a little portion of that I'm using to get some tattoo work. Got a new truck. That was actually a trade with my sister. And then the rest is going to go to get some property, our house.
All right.
So,
that's good.
Okay.
And then you're coming back in a couple weeks then?
Yeah, we're coming back.
All right, because, man, Dylan, I want to get more talks with you.
Dude,
because, here, hold on. Do that because I'm going to walk around the side and get him. Because, boom.
Yeah.
Fucking this guy. Fucking someone that I can talk to has his eyes open and shit, and no one wants to hear this though.
No,
you know what? We're retarded and stupid, and we should kill ourselves. And I love it when someone with their eyes open.
I've gotten into so many debates with my atheist friends, my Christian friends, and to be honest, and not to criticize one or the other, but I have found probably 80 and 90% of the time, any of my atheist friends I get in debates with are generally not as closed off as my Christian friends.
Really?
You know, more accepting almost in a way. You know, I mean, they at least will hear you out.
Not
you know,
me.
they'll. But
atheists need their science. They need their science. They don't.
Okay. No, hold on. When we get into science, that's a whole different realm.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're not open-minded.
But no.
They need evolution. They need that spinning ball.
Yes. They. Now, when I bring up something like that, then yes, they're not at all. No. And I have one atheist friend out there in Davenport that he's. It was funny because he'd get in a lot of debates. It didn't matter if it was about science or Christianity or anything. He would always pop off, you know. And I asked him, I'm like, "Have you ever read the Bible?" And he told me flat out that no, he hasn't read the Bible.
The earth is meant to be moved.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I mean, I've read the Bible, and I've read the science books. You know, I don't just read one, but criticize the other without ever, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I criticize the Bible too all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, or at least the interpretations we've been told to do. You know, and I believe, you know, there's an interesting thing because a lot of Christians, you know, they talk about Revelation and how, you know, you can't change the Word of God. Well, again, like I said, I have a different definition of what the Word of God is, or the Creator, I should say.
That's what I am, Creator.
Yeah, when it says that, you know, whoever takes away from this or whoever adds to it, you know, with the plagues and the stuff like that, you know, and their name being taken out of the book of life, it doesn't say they can't make changes. You know, which they try to say like, oh, no, it can't be changed. You know, this is how it always has been and always will be. No, that's not what John said in Revelation. He said, whoever does change any of these words, and by the way, he wrote just one book. Yeah. You know, out of this, conveniently, the Protestant Bible is 66 books. He wrote one book. You know.
Better than 33.
Right. Oh, you know, ironically, my life number is 33.
Is it?
Yeah. So I got one of my good buddies, the one who sent me the flat Earth shit. He's big into numerology, huge into he was. I think he's starting to get out of that finally. Because I always told him, I said, I'm not against it. Like I can use it to, you know, I'll use it as a supporting thing. Yeah. But I don't use it as my all telling. You know, like you know the numbers or everything. No, I'm not like that. No. Now I can read stuff, add things up, and be like, well, that supports what I'm kind of talking about here. You know, but it was pretty funny because last year I was 33, and my life number's 33, and dude, I would fuck with him with that. You know, well, I mean, we got into a couple of talks, and I told him one time, I said, you know, if you went by the numbers, we wouldn't be friends. You know what my life number is. Yeah. You know, you would think I'm Illuminati, Freemason. Yeah. You know that I'm a plant. You know, but the difference between you and me is I don't judge people based on the numbers. I judge them on their heart. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't give a shit what their life number is. You know, and so I've kind of, that's another tattoo I've thought about doing, a little 33 behind my ear here. Kind of as it's my life number, but at the same time it's mocking the whole system. You know, and the whole Freemason thing. You know, be like, hey, look, I'm Mason, man. Let me in. Let me see what's going on in there. Right. You know? Let me see what's going on. But yeah, no. So, like I said, it's been a crazy loop for these few years, and like I'm always open to anybody's theories, opinions, and I mean, I have, you know, my buddies at work. You know, they're young and dumb, but they're young, you know, and they'll pop off with something, you know, and I'll be like, wait a minute, hold on, you might be onto something, you know. Like this one kid, he's 24, and we got into talking about like the Big Bang and creation. And I don't remember how the whole conversation started, but he was like, oh, he's like, there was a Big Bang, all right. Mom and Dad had a Big Bang. And I'm like, you know, we started laughing, but I'm like, wait a minute. No, you're onto something, you know, about this whole Big Bang. Because what is the Big Bang? It's proof everything comes into existence. The light shining, right? Okay, creation. What is it? This whole creation story. Well, if you stop and think about it, this is kind of what I grabbed out of his little spoof phrase there, was that nothing exists until you're born. Right. Now, you know, for that person, things exist, but for yourself, there's nothing. There's no existence before you're born. And what happens when you pop out? First comes the light, you know, and then the world starts to form. The dry land, the water, you experience the water, the animals, and then other people. You know what I mean? So it kind of even falls in with being born. Yeah. You know, the whole creation thing. So that's why I kind of say, like, it doesn't have to be literal for me. Right. In that regard, you know, like Christians are like, oh, this is all 100% historical. Well, for me, it can be a completely fabricated story, but in the in the what's the other way? Not literal, but the figurative way. I can relate everything that to. I can use analogies. It's more like analogies.
Yeah.
So like one of the guys I work with, he's Baptist, and I mean he's not like a strong Baptist, but he's Baptist, and we've talked about it, and I'm like, well, another one's Catholic, but he thinks a lot more like I do.
Right.
But I told him, I go, it can all be fake. Well, I mean, made up story. Mm-hmm. I go, but whoever made it up either knew the figurative analogies for it, or they unintentionally put all that in there trying to give you the story, and it turns out that they might have been trying to fuck you. Well, like in The Matrix, the prophecy was made by the bad guy, but the prophecy came true. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The Lego movie, the prophecy was made, and it was a fake prophecy, but it came true. In all the movies, it's the same story as the story we get with the Bible. It's the same thing, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, I mean, it's crazy shit, man.
All right. It's Jeremy and Brandon and Dylan at Spokane Super Tattoo, and we'll be back later.